guys, today I'm going to give you my top 10 seasons of classic Doctor Who. This doesn't include the new Doctor Who. This is the years from 1963 to 1989 and they cover the first 7 Doctors. One of my subscribers asked, what's your top 10 seasons of Doctor Who? And I thought it was a great question. So I give it a good thought and I've decided on my top 10. So it'll be completely different to yours. This is just my personal picks. So I hope you enjoy the video. So at number 10, we have season 18. This is Tom Baker's final season. And what I'm doing is I'm laying out the old DVDs just for visual reference. So this is his final season. And to start with, it must have surprised lots of audiences with his new costume, his new title sequence. Total fresh look. Megalos is the only weak story in my opinion, but the other ones are all decent. And I especially like From Warrior's Gate, The Keeper of Traken and Logopolis. Another interesting thing about this season is these stories, Full Circle, State of Decay and Warrior's Gate, the A-Space trilogy. It's a trilogy of stories that a hidden universe called A-Space. And also these last 2 stories feature the Master, and it continues with Castrovalva in season 19. So that's kind of like another trilogy of stories as well. I just want to point out how brilliant Logopolis is. It's definitely the best regeneration in the series. So, brilliant final story from Tom's era. Best Doctor. So this is John Nathan Turner's final season and it's underrated. It's a bit more science-based than previous seasons. What I like about this season is there's a theme to it about aging and decay, about getting old. And the next season is the opposite. It's about regeneration and youth. So I like that. That makes the top 10 at number 10. What do we have for number 9? So in 9th place, we get season 19. This is followed on from season 18, Peter Davison's first season. As you can see, Castrovalva. That's followed on from Logopolis. Then you get Fort of Doomsday, Kinder, I've reviewed that one. The Visitation, Black Orchid, Earthshock, that's a brilliant Earthshock, and Time Flight with the Master again. So a brilliant season, and what I like about season 19 is the freshness. It also has a theme, the opposite to season 18, about youth and regeneration. Excellent, especially Earthshock and killing off Patrick. That was amazing. So excellent season. In season 18 and 19, it was a close one. I almost put 18 above 19, so there's very little in between them two. But 2 brilliant first seasons from John Nathan Turner. After that it went downhill a bit. In 8th place, we have season 4. This is the first season of Patrick Troughton. And I always forget that at the beginning you have the smugglers that's missing and the 10th planet from Hartnell. So there was 2 stories at the back end that were added to season 4. So the 10th planet's brilliant though. That introduced the Cybermen. And what I like most about this season's the 2 Dalek stories. There's Power of the Daleks first. I've got 2 versions of that. You get the Underwater Menace, the Moon Base, the Macra Terror, the Faceless Ones, Naval of the Daleks. So there's no the Smugglers that started the season, and there's no the Highlanders, which introduced Jamie. That would go here. But they'll be coming out soon, shortly, I bet. But what's striking about this season's, like I say, the 2 Dalek stories that I recently watched. The animated, they're brilliant. That's what they put this season so highly. A really strong season. So that's season 4 in 8th place. In 7th place, I'd put season 6. And the reason is it's like a special season, this one. With season 4 and 5 of Troughton, there's tons missing, but season 6 there's loads that survive, so it makes it kind of special. As you can say, there's the Dominators, the Mind Robber, that's a good one. The Invasion I've reviewed on the channel, that's excellent. Even the Crotons is fun. Seeds of Death I've reviewed, that's another good one. And the War Games, I think that's probably my favourite Troughton. Even though it's 10 episodes long, I thought it's epic. Really well done, that one. And there's the Space Pirates before that, but that's missing, so it needs to be animated, that one. But really strong season, especially these two, the Invasion and the War Games, and even the Mind Robber. So really well done season. So that's season 4. In 6th place, we get season 1. I had to include the very first season. And it's really great season. You get the Unearthly Child. You get the Daleks. First time you say the Daleks, that's excellent. You get the Edge of Destruction. That's a 2-parter that's very strange. Marco Polo hasn't been done yet. That's supposed to be brilliant. So they'll be animating that shortly. You get the Keys of Marinus. The Aztecs, that's a brilliant historical. One of the best. The Sensorites I reviewed, I didn't like that one. The Reign of Terror, I haven't seen that yet. It's animated, so that's due for a review. Well, excellent first season, and what I like most about it's the companions. A great team. Ian, Susan and Barbara. And William Hartnell's excellent as well. And of course, the very first Dalek story is brilliant. And An Unearthly Child, I love the first episode. Excellent season. So we're into the top 5 now. And in 5th place, we get season 7. This is John Pertwee's first season. And it's Spearhead from Space, Doctor and the Silurians, the Ambassadors of Death, and Inferno. And what's odd about this season's, these 3 stories are 7-parters. That's why there's only 4 stories this season. And it's totally different to John's other 4 seasons. It's a lot more like Quatermass. John's character is a lot like Quatermass in this season. And it's a more mature style. In Spearhead from Space, you see the Autons for the first time, and the Silurians for the first time. One of the 4 that I'm not too keen on is the Ambassadors of Death. Well, probably when I rewatch it, I'll love that one as well. And of course, Inferno, that ties with, for me, that and the Green Death is his best. I'm not quite sure which one's my favourite between them two. So although there's only 4 stories, it stands out. Really good Inferno. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it. So that's season 7. In 4th place, we get season 10. Another John Pertwee season. And this is my favourite John Pertwee season. And it's special because it's like the 10th anniversary. So they did the 3 Doctors with Hartnell, Troughton, and there's John. Carnival of Monsters is decent as well. Frontier in Space I've reviewed on the channel, that's excellent. That's Roger Delgado's final story, is the master. Planet of the Daleks is great. And The Green Death, where Joe lives. And that's probably is my favourite John Pertwee story, this one. Great season, all 5 are good stories. And that's kind of rare, you usually get a dud. But this year, all 5 stood out. Really great season. So that's season 10. So we're down to the top 3. And in 3rd place, it's season 12. The very first Tom Baker season. And the very first Philip Hinchcliffe season as producer. And this is the start of the golden period. The next 3 years were like perfect. So it starts off with Robot. That's a little bit like a Pertwee story. It's still good though. I love the Robot. Really good. But his era properly takes off with Ark in Space. It's the start of like gothic horror and body horror as well, body changes, which is a theme of nearly all of Tom's early stories. You get the Sontaran experiment, a great looking Sontaran, probably the best. It's even better than the new ones now. And you get Genesis of the Daleks. I think that's tied my favourite story of all time. This one and Pyramids of Mars. Probably pick Genesis of the Daleks though, it's excellent. Davros is at his best. And then you get Revenge of the Cybermen. Even this one's good. The Cybermen look really good. Very iconic style to them. Brilliant season. Again, all 5 stories are really good. Probably the weakest's Robot, and even that's excellent. That's season 12 in 3rd place. In 2nd place, we get season 14, and it's an excellent season, this one. It's Tom Baker again. This is his 3rd year. We still have Philip Hinchcliffe as the producer. So it starts off with Mask of Mandragora. I've reviewed that one. Then The Hand of Fear, that's the one where Sarah Jane leaves. It's a really sad moment when she leaves, the TARDIS. Deadly Assassin's totally weird. There's no companion. And it's the return of the Master, but it is in a decayed form. That must have shocked a lot of people when they realised that was the Master. Then you get The Face of Evil, where Layla joins. Then you get The Robots of Death, it's brilliant. And The Talons of Wen-Chian, the final story produced by Philip Hinchcliffe. Brilliant season. Probably the weakest would probably be The Face of Evil. Like these two, excellent. And The Deadly Assassin. You can't go wrong with early Tom Baker. Really great season, so that's in 2nd place, season 14. And in 1st place, it's season 13. Again, Tom Baker. And this is my favourite season of all time. And it's partly to do with, it's really into gothic horror, very Hammer horror type. The first one, straight away you have a classic, Terror of the Zygons. Brilliant design monster, the Zygons. Planet of Evil, excellent again. Pyramids of Mars, that's kind of tied with Genesis of the Daleks as my favourite story of all time. The Android Invasion, even that's good. Brain of Morbius is good. And The Seeds of Doom I've reviewed on the channel, that's excellent, that. Excellent. A lot of Tom Baker 6-parters, they're all brilliant. Genesis of the Daleks, Talons of Wen-Chian, Seeds of Doom. So they did a good job with the 6-parters. So overall, you can't go wrong with this season. See, there's 3 of them are absolute classics. Terror of the Zygons, Pyramids of Mars and The Seeds of Doom. That's my favourite season of all time. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'm sure you'll have a different top 10 to mine. Leave your comments below and tell us which seasons are your favourites. Okay everybody, bye. See you next time. Like, subscribe and share. Bye. Bye.